Want to know how to easily turn any Divi module into a slider or carousel? While Divi is an excellent page builder, unfortunately it doesn't cater for every functionality needed to build a website. So in this Divi tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can build your own sliders or carousel without needing to buy or install any plugins. I'll also give you the code to copy and show you where to paste it. It couldn't be simpler. Hey there guys, and welcome to this new video tutorial. It's been a while, but I am back. I've had some time to create a few more tutorials for you, so I hope you are going to enjoy this new 4-part video series. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it, and it does mean a lot to me. This is going to be a video series that shows you how you can use Swiper.js to build out any type of slider or carousel you need with any Divi module. If you are looking for more tutorials on what you can build with Divi and how to build it with Divi, be sure to check this playlist that will be popping up in a card about now. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Before we start working in Divi, we're going to go have a look at the JavaScript library we'll be using called Swiper.js. So I will leave a link in the description, but otherwise you can just go to Google and just in the search bar just type in Swiper.js and it'll be this first search result over here. We can click on that, and then over here is their website. So if you go to resources and you click on demos, you'll see there's a whole bunch of demos, and in these next few videos I'm just going to show you some of them, but I mean you can come to this website and just try all of these if you want to. So we're not going to look at that yet. The first thing we need to do, we actually need to load the scripts. So what we need to do, we need to come to docs. Is it docs? Yes, docs, and then click this button that says get started. And we have a few options here, but the one we're going to use is to use Swiper from CDN. So you'll see here are the 2 lines of code we need to grab. But if you also check in the description, I've left a link to a code pen. And in the code pen over here, I've got the links to the CDN over here. So you can copy it from here, or you can go to the Swiper.js website and get it there. I'm just going to copy it from here because I suppose most of you will do that. What you can do when you get to this code pen, I haven't said this before, but where I haven't put code, you can just minimize that. So if you click on this down arrow, you can just click this minimize CSS editor. We won't be using that today. And if there's not enough space, you can always drag this down. So let's just grab all this code and let's copy it. And let's go to the front end of our dashboard. And what you'd normally do is you'd come over to Divi and then click on theme options. And then come over to integrations here. And then you'd add this over here in your head of your blog. Now, this is fine if the code, if you're going to put a like carousel or a slider on every single page of your website. But with speed being such an issue with websites nowadays, what we can do, we can download a plugin and actually just load the code on the pages we need it. So I'm actually going to remove it from here. And let's head over to plugins and let's select the option to add new. Then in the search bar over here, let's type in header and footer. And the one you want to select is this one over here with the like pink to orange gradient background. It's by 99 Robots. And then we can just click the button to install now. And once installed, we can just click the button to activate the plugin. Once a plugin is activated, you'll be redirected to your plugins page. You'll see it's installed there. And then now in the left-hand menu, we have this new menu item called HFCM. And what we can do is just hover over it and we can click on the option to add new. So for the snippet name, I'm just going to put in Swiper.js. So yeah, Swiper.js snippet. The snippet type we can leave as HTML. Then the site display, now this is where we can choose where we want to display it. And I'm only going to have it on a specific page. So for me, I'm going to choose specific pages. But like I said, you can do it site-wide or you can choose specific pages. And then you can click in there to get your page list. And mine is on this full width image slider page. And you can select more if you want to. Then for location, we're going to leave it as header. You'll see there's a few options there. But we're going to use the CSS link here first. So let's put that in the header. And then device display, we want it to show on all devices. And then the status, we want it active. And then what we can do is just come in there and just paste in that link there. For the script, let's take that out. I'll just push Control X, or you can use Command X. I think it is on a Mac. Because we only want the CSS to load in the header, but the JavaScript we want to load in the footer. So we're going to do another code snippet for that. So maybe we can make the Swiper.js snippet CSS, something like that. So we know that's the CSS link. And just come down to the bottom here and click Save. And then it's saved, and then we can add a new snippet. And this we'll call Swiper.js JavaScript. Something like that. Snippet type, we can again leave it as HTML. And then site display, again, I'm just going to choose a specific page. And the page I'm going to use is a full width image slider. Location, this time we're not going to use the header, we're going to use the footer. And then device display and status we're going to leave as is. And then we can just paste the JavaScript script in there. And then just come down to the bottom here and click Save. Now that we've loaded those scripts, we can use Swiper.js. So I just want to come to the front end of the website, and this is what the page currently looks like. I've just put in this gray area with the heading of this is the hero section, just to give us some space. You obviously don't have to do this. I just want to give this page a refresh, and then I just want to show you how this code we've just inserted has been input into our page. So if I click Inspect, actually I don't want to click Inspect, I want to go to View Page Source. And then I push Control F, I can search for Swiper. So you'll see there's the one. This is a CSS snippet, and it is loading towards the top of our page, so in the head. And if we go, this is just still in the head, but if we go to the next one, you'll see there's the JS one, and that's loading in the footer with all the other JavaScript scripts. So that's how we want it. And let us actually do this. Let's then go to, I'm going to go to the home page. There's nothing on here. But then I just want to view this page source. And guys, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you this for interest's sake. If I push Control F and I search for Swiper, you see there's nothing. So it's only loading on the page I need it. It's not loading on the home page where I'm not going to use it. So that's why I like using that plugin. So it doesn't load on all the pages. So we can close that, and we don't need the home anymore. So basically that is it for loading the scripts we need to use. And now what we can do, I'm going to go into the Divi Builder here, into the Visual Builder. You can put this on any page you want to. I'm just using a brand new page here. And the first thing we need to do is add a new section. So I'm going to insert new section. I'm just going to choose a regular section. I'm going to insert a one column row, and you guys don't actually have to do this part. I'm just going to put in a heading here because I'm going to have a few tutorials coming up, and I just want to have headings for each of them. The module I'm going to use is a text module, not test, but text. I'm just going to quickly type in here image slider section. Okay, so now that I put that in, let us go to the Swiper.js website, and let's come over to resources and let's click on demos. And the first one we're going to do is this navigation slider. But we're going to do the navigation so you have these arrows, and then also that you have these, what do you call them, like pagination at the bottom. Oh, it is called pagination, there we go. Or these dots at the bottom, so that when you swipe through, the dots change. So we're going to do a combination of these two. What I want to do, I'm going to click on Core so we can see how to actually use this. And if you want to use any of these other sliders, that's what you need to do. You need to click on Core so you can see how they've actually built this. And here is all the code that they've used. Now, we're not going to use all this code. I just need to see how their HTML part is structured. And with Swiper.js, there's three main parts. It's the swiper part. This my swiper, yeah, don't worry about that. That can be called anything. And I'm going to show you how to use this now. But swiper, the swiper wrapper, and the swiper slides. Those are the three main parts that Swiper.js uses. And then also these swiper buttons or the swiper pagination. And we need to now insert these into Divi modules or Divi rows or columns. And I'm going to show you how to place this where you need to place it to get the slider to work for you. The first thing we need to do is we need to have what I would say is a container with these two classes, which is swiper and my swiper. So I'm just going to copy that, and you can do that as well. Just don't copy the inverted commas, just copy the text inside the inverted commas. And then let's go back to the front end builder. Front end, here we go. And underneath here, let us add a new row. And we only need a one column row. So let's just go out of there for now. This row is actually going to act as our container, which is a swiper, my swiper. So we can go into the row settings, and we can go into the advanced tab. And under CSS ID and classes, if we click on that, in the CSS class, we can put that over there. But now, I'm not going to use my swiper. The swiper is a must-have. Let me just put that. You need to have swiper. But this my swiper, you can use anything you want to. And if we go to my code pen, you'll see I've named it image slider. And I've actually used an ID, not a class. So what you want to do is you want to come over to the code pen. The link is in the description. And then just copy the text part, which is image-slider. Let's copy that. Don't copy the hashtag there, just the text and the hyphen or dash. So let's go back here, and we can actually take my swiper out, and let's in the ID paste image-slider. So that's how your row needs to look. That's all you need to do for your row, so we can save that. Let's go back to this web page. And you'll see the next thing we need is another container, which is called swiper wrapper. So let's just copy that text, the swiper hyphen wrapper. I'm going to copy that, and let's go back to the visual builder. And let's go back into the row, and our column is going to act as the swiper wrapper. So let's click into the column. Let's go to the advanced tab. Let's come to CSS ID and classes, and let's paste the class of swiper wrapper under CSS class. Then we can save that. And then if we go back just to the Swiper.js webpage, the next thing we need to do is we need a whole bunch of these swiper slides, and these are going to be our image modules. So let's just copy swiper-slide. Let us go back to the front end, and let's just add a module now. And I'm going to use the image module. And guys, you can actually use anything yet. So I think the next tutorial I'm going to show you is blurbs, and I'm going to show you blog posts. I'm going to show you, what else am I going to show you? I'm going to show you, WooCommerce products. We're going to turn all these into like carousel sliders and that, and it's quite easy. So it might seem a bit complicated now, but you'll see how easy it is once you practice this a few times. So I'm adding an image here, but you could add text modules, you could add blurbs, you could add any module you want. But in this case, or in this video, I'm going to use the image module. And I had a few requests for turning images like into sliders and that, so that's why I'm using the image module. So I'm going to select image. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select an image from my library. So I'll just take this one for now. Upload the image. And there's the image there. And then all you want to do is come to advanced. Under CSS ID and classes, let's go in there and let's just paste swiper slide. And I'm going to do this now for a few more images. So all I'm going to do is save that, and I'm going to duplicate this. So you'll duplicate this for how many ever images you have. And I'm just going to use, I think I used 7 in the one I practice on. So I'm just going to use 7. So I'm just going to duplicate this 7 times. All right, and then you'll see there's all the images. And all you're going to do now is come to the second image, and all you're going to do is swap out the images. Everything else stays as is. You leave this class in there. You're just going to swap out your images now. And I'm going to quickly speed this up so I don't bore you guys. All right, so I've just uploaded my last image. So you'll see there's all the images I put in there, and there's 7 of them. So we can now save that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to need to add some JavaScript. And if we go to the Swiper.js website, or actually to this part, you'll see here that they've already given you the JavaScript, and it's not much code. But I've already added the JavaScript we're going to use in this code pen. So again, link is in the description. And what you want to do is you want to copy that entire code. And what you'll need to do, if you have set it up like I have using this HFCM plugin, you'll need to come in here and paste the code in there. Otherwise, if you've put it in into Divi and the theme options and the header there, you can just in the Divi builder add a new section and put a code module in and paste the code over there. So yeah, it just depends how you've done this. But I'm going to have to paste my code here because I put my script tags here. And the JavaScript needs to come below these script tags. So I can't paste it into this page here because my script tag, the script tag here, is sitting right in the footer. And if I paste my code into this page, it's going to cause errors because it's reading that code before reading this. So that's why I have to paste my code underneath here. So I'm just going to go to a new line and just, the first thing we need to do, we actually need to put the code in script tags. So in the code pen, I've just got the JavaScript. I haven't added script tags. So what you need to do is just use the left angle bracket like that and type in script and then close it with the right angle bracket. And it automatically closes the script tag. And you can just click enter and then just go between those tags and paste in your code. And then that's what I've done at the beginning. So over here, we've got all our code. I'll get to this code now, but over here, we just to tell you what you're doing, we're creating a variable called swiper image, and it's a new swiper, and this is from Swiper.js. And we are targeting our row that has the image slider. So once you've pasted that code in, click the update button. And now if we come to the front end, and I just do a hard refresh, so you'll see the images aren't stacked like it is in the visual builder. The images are actually all in a line. So I don't know if you saw that, it automatically moved. But you can see if I click and scroll, I can now scroll through these images. So I'm just going to leave it now, and you'll see it'll automatically scroll as well, and then I'll show you why it's doing that. At least I think it will. If I refresh it again, let's just see. So you see there it's automatically scrolling. And the reason it's doing that is because I have some code in here to autoplay. But we'll get to this all now. The next thing we need to do, we need to add in this pagination. And the pagination will be these dots at the bottom. So to do that, what we can do is we can go back to the Visual Builder and we can add a new row. So we'll just come right to the bottom here and add a new row. And we just, again, need a single column row. And we're going to insert a code module over here. So let's type in code and let's select the code module. Let's go back to the Swiper.js core page here. Actually, not that page. We want the one with the navigation here, or the pagination. So let's open this core under pagination. Let's click on core. And then let's go down to the HTML, which is over here. So we need to put this in our Visual Builder so that we can have this pagination at the bottom. So we go back to the Visual Builder, just in the code module there, we can just paste that. And now if you have a look here, I've taken everything where the opening div starts to the closing div with the class. Taken all of that and I've pasted that into the code settings. So if we save that, and let's go to the front end and refresh. Sorry, we need to do something here. If I go here, you'll see I've called the pagination image slider pagination. So what you can do is you can just copy that, not the dot, just the text image hyphen slider hyphen pagination. Let's copy that. Let's go back to the Visual Builder. And you're going to leave swiper hyphen pagination in there. And just after that, before the closing inverted comma, let's just put a space in there and paste our other class in there called image slider pagination. And then let's save that. And then let's refresh this. And there is our dots. And you see it's working. So we can now control the slider with these dots. So I just wanted to tell you, if you copy the code exactly from Swiper.js, you don't have to make your own classes like I did here. The reason I've had to make my own classes is because I'm going to have a few sliders that I'm going to do in this video series on this one page. And that's why I've had to name them different to what's on here. So I've left, like, for instance, the swiper pagination in, but then I've given it its own class and then targeted the class that I made over here. So just remember that if you're going to have a few sliders on a page, you need to give them different classes in that. So that's why I've made this class. But if you're only going to have one slider, you can just leave it as what Swiper.js is here. So if maybe I must show you an example because I confuse myself even saying that. So let's just go back to the build here. I'm going to take my class that I gave it out and just leave in Swiper.js their class, which is a swiper pagination. If I copy this and I come to the front end and I change my class with the Swiper.js class and save it, and then refresh the page, you'll see we still get this. So you can use the Swiper.js classes as it is here. Like I said, the only reason I've had to give it another class is because I'm going to have a few sliders on the page. But otherwise, just copy me. If I'm confusing you too much, just copy what I'm doing. So let me just go back to this code pen and just copy this again. And then come back here, and I'm just going to paste it in here. And then change it out in the JavaScript here. Update that. Just make sure it's working still. And it is. And you'll see with the autoplay it moves as well. So it actually works quite nicely. And there's not much styling we had to do with CSS and that. It's like all done with this with Swiper.js. So it's quite awesome. I'm so glad I found this, because trying to build it from scratch was quite a mission. I'm going to show you how to do this with like modules like this, and we'll do blurbs, but we're going to do like carousels, we're going to do the WooCommerce products, and we're going to do blog posts. So you'll see a few variations of this, and like I said, the code is so easy. It's just basically copying and pasting it. With the blog posts and the WooCommerce products, it gets a bit trickier. We need more JavaScript there, because we can't just put in like the swiper wrap and swiper in our rows and columns like we did here. We actually need to inject it into our Divi HTML. But yeah, that's for those videos. So the next thing we want to do, is it this one? Yeah. So if you want the slider just like that with the pagination, yeah, you can leave it and you are done. But if you want to have arrows as well, I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. So what we need to do, we need to come back in here, and we need to actually add a few more things. So we're going to add a new row. So let's just click on that button, and again, we can just use a single column, and we're going to use a code module again. So let's add in a code, and if we come to the navigation here, you'll see we need these two divs here. So we'll take the first one, which is div class swiper button next, and the closing div. Let's copy that. Let's go to our code module here and paste it in there. Now again, guys, if we go to my JavaScript code, let me actually use the code pen. You'll see I've given it another class. I haven't used the Swiper.js class because, like I said, I'm going to have a few sliders, and that's why I had to make my own classes as well. So I'm going to take my class as well. And you can do that as well. And let's go back there. And just next to swiper button next, we're going to paste in our other class like that. Then for this next button, we can actually leave it where it is, because we want it at the bottom there. And I'm actually going to go in the wireframe mode to make it easier to look at. So this is the one we just did. So what we can do, we can duplicate this, and then let's drag this. Or we can actually, you know what, I think we can actually leave it there. Then let's go into this code module that we've duplicated. Let's go back to the navigation here, or the Swiper.js website, and let's copy the next line of code, which is the div class swiper button, and then previous, and the closing div. Let's copy that, and let's paste that into this. So we're taking this code out, and we're pasting the new code in there. And if we go to the code pen, we then also need this other class that I've created, and we can just paste it in there like that. All right, so let's save this. And if you look here, you'll see there's our navigation, and there's our classes that we put in there. Let's go to the front end and refresh. Now you'll see our buttons or our navigation is sitting at the bottom here, not looking very good, but it works, as you can see. Okay. You'll see when it gets to the end, you can't click anymore, and it like has an opacity on it. So you can go to this one, and when it gets to the beginning, it stops, and again has the opacity on it. So how do we move these buttons to the center of our images? What we need to do is come to this first one, and our first one is our next button. But we need to actually go into the row settings, and this will be the button on the right hand side of the screen. If we go into the advanced tab and we come over to position, we need to set the position to absolute. And because it's going to be the button on our right hand screen, and we want to select this option to be in the center but on the right. Then if we come into our code over here, this is the previous button, which will be on the left-hand side of the screen. So let's go into that row. Let's come to advanced. Let's go to position, and let's select absolute again. And this time we want it on the left-hand side, but in the center. I forgot. We also will probably need to put a Z index on this. So I'm just going to put a Z index of 9. Hopefully that works. Let me just go into this other one because I forgot to put it in on there. Go in the position and Z index. I'm going to make that 9 as well. And let's save that. And let's go to the front end and refresh. So now you'll see there are our buttons in the middle of our image and they work. So they might be a bit too far. So if you want to move these closer to the image, what we can do is we can just play with a horizontal offset. And maybe this now is the one on the right. So we can maybe move it in a bit. So give it a bit of a negative. Let's go 150 and see what happens. And then let's do the same to this one. But this is going to be plus 150 pixels. So we're going to move it to the right. So let's save. And let's refresh the page. And you'll see now. Sorry. Sorry, I did something wrong here. We actually need to make this one not negative 150, but just 150 because we want to push it 150 from the right. Sorry, that was my mistake. So that must both be 150, but you can adjust it depending on where you want it. But if I refresh the page now, so you'll see they are closer. And you can move it closer if you want to. But that's basically how you add those. And you can see it's working. And this is working. So everything's working. And then if we just come here, just the last thing is this autoplay. So at the moment, the delay is set to 2000. You can actually remove this totally if you want. If you don't want it, you can actually just take it from the autoplay up to where it closes. Take it out like that. If you update it and we refresh the page, you'll see now it won't autoplay. And then you can just slide through it yourself. But if you want the autoplay, I'm not going to have autoplay on the others. I just wanted to show you on this one. So if you want it, you know how to add it. So all you do is just come in there and add it in there. And you can change it. So let's make this like 10 seconds so that it's quite long so you can see. And then you can have this pause on mouse enter set to true. If you remove it totally, it automatically then reverts to false. And that means that people can hover over it and it'll still autoplay. But how it's set up now is if you hover over it, it will stop playing or stop running through the slides. So if I refresh this now, we're going to have to wait about 10 seconds. So sorry about that. Just to watch it autoplay. So excuse the silence while we wait. So there we go. See, so it happened. If we wait another 10 seconds. There it goes. So that's how you can change that. I'm just going to change this maybe to like 3000 and update that. And then I think the next thing, I just want to refresh this. Let's just check if this is already mobile responsive. So I'm just going to inspect here. Let's go onto a tablet. So that's a tablet there. So you'll see that it's just the arrows. They're in the image here. So you might want to come in here and just change the offset, like select that maybe to tablet. And now you can have it at like 0. And let's go to the other one. Let's go to position and go to horizontal offset. Let's choose that and let's choose tablet and have it at 0. And let's save. And then let's refresh. Just try and make this bigger. There we go. So now you'll see that looks better. There, it's at the end now. And then let's have a look at phone. There we go. So these arrows aren't exactly in the center. So what we can do, let's just have a look at something here. Let's inspect this and see why it's not in the center. So it just looks like the reason is it sits in the center of the section. If I highlight the section where the blue is, you'll see it's in the center of that, and because it's a row, it's in that. So what you can do is if you really want these arrows, you can play with the location. If we click on that, we go down to phone. Let's put this at the bottom now. And then we have a vertical offset and a horizontal offset now that we can put it at. But we want it at 0. And then maybe we can move this down a bit by like 100 pixels. Let's see what happens. And we can click save. Yeah, it's a bit too down, but you can see, yeah, if we come here, we can play. So you need about 200 pixels to be in the center of the image. So let's change this to 200 pixels. And then we can do the same with the other one. Advanced position. Let's go to location. Let's click on the mobile icon and let's leave it on phone. Let's put it at the bottom here, or you can put it at the top, doesn't matter. Let's also do it 200 pixels, yeah? And let's save that. And then let's refresh the page. And now you see they are in the middle. So that you'll just need to play. I wouldn't have these arrows on mobile, to be honest with you. I would maybe just have this. So what I would actually do here is come in here and then come down to visibility and disable on phone. So you're disabling the whole row. So let's go to the other row. Advanced, visibility, disable on phone. And then let's save that. And let's refresh the page. And you'll see now you just have these at the bottom. But if you go, for instance, to tablet, your arrows appear. And let's take that off and close that. And then your arrows are still there. So that is how you create a slider image. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And as I said, this is going to be a video series. There'll be a few more. I think towards the end, I'll show you if you want to style these arrows and these as well, how we can style them to match your brand. But guys, thanks for watching and I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. I hope it helped you. I hope you enjoyed it. And tomorrow I will be releasing another video showing you how you can turn a module into a carousel slider. So in this video, there'll be basically 3 slides in a view that people can slide through. If I didn't explain something too well, or maybe I confused you a bit, or maybe you got lost somewhere, please feel free to leave a comment, or you can send an email directly to my email address and I will help you out. Then if you need a website built and don't have the time to do it, or maybe you feel you need someone more experienced to do it, I have left my website link in the description. You can click on that link and you can book a free call with me so we can discuss your project needs and see if we're a great fit for one another. And guys, if I can please ask you to do a solid for me and please like this video. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing as well. It does really help my channel as well as this video get out to more people. And then if you're looking for other Divi video tutorials, please click on this pop-up that should pop up in the corner about now, and you'll find a playlist with a few more tutorials. So that's it for this video. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one and we'll speak soon. Cheers.